Are you somebody who struggles with self-doubt, anxiety, or shyness? Do you find yourself avoiding new opportunities or challenges because you don't feel confident enough to handle them? It's okay, you're not alone. Honestly, most of us will struggle at some point with confidence at one point in our lives. But the good news is that confidence is a skill that you can learn over time and with practice. And if you stick around until the end of this video, you're going to have a great idea as to what skills it's going to take for you to be confident, maintain confidence, and to be a magnetic person within every room that you step into. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. My first tip to build your confidence is to be true to your word. If you say that you're going to do something for somebody, you would do it, right? I'm assuming that you would if you really care about them. So if you're willing to do something for them, why aren't you willing to do it for yourself? Listen up, you silly goose. When you're true to your word, you're saying that what I value is important and I am important. What I'm going to do is important. What I'm trying to say is that you honor yourself every time you do something that you say you're going to do and hold yourself accountable to it. It could be as small as washing your sheets once a week, which I have been doing quite frequently. I'm very proud of myself. Hopefully you're doing the same. Or it could be as big as saying, one day I'm going to own my own business. Respecting yourself and holding yourself accountable is a very powerful way to gain and improve your self-confidence. Environment and who you surround yourself with are the two most important factors when you're trying to improve yourself. They say that you become most like the three people that you spend the most time with. Take an inventory on who you spend your most time with. Want to be like them? Are they helping to uplift you, or are they just bringing you down? And are they helping you improve in any way? Do not have to feel like you are constantly on defense to somebody who is trying to invalidate you or your emotions or your experience. Beware of emotionally unavailable people, overly sarcastic people, or people who are just passive aggressive. And be aware that you don't have to conform to anybody, especially people who don't genuinely care about you. And if you feel like you're not being your authentic self when you're with somebody, or you're adapting new behaviors when you're around them, or having new thought patterns that aren't really necessarily who you really are, I think it's important to take that time to reflect on whether you really want this person in your life or not. I urge you to reflect on how you feel when you're with this person or after you're with this person, and determine what value they're adding to your life. If you realize that they're adding more pain than value, I highly encourage you to either cut ties or drastically reduce the amount of time that you spend with them. There's a lot that goes into having to do this, and I have a lot of experience with this, so I'm more than welcome to offer you some tips if you're interested. A good rule of thumb that I've learned is to try to notice how your body feels when you're with this person. Notice if your energy feels depleted, if you're not looking forward to seeing them, or if your stomach is starting to hurt every time you think about them. The thing is, your body tends to notice things before your brain does, and it's very intelligent, so please listen to it. It's just looking out for you. Notice how your posture is when you're with this person. Do you get more closed up? Do you cross your arms a lot? Or are you being expressive and able to expand your body and your physical space? But again, I cannot stress this enough. Listen to your body. Your body will know before your brain does. I swear it has never failed me. The next tip to help you gain self-confidence is to put some effort into your body and into your appearance. This goes for both men and women, and I'm not telling you that you need to get dressed up before you go out grocery shopping or to have a pressed suit before you leave the house, but just a little bit of effort goes a long way, especially when you have only a split second to make a good first impression to somebody. Also, what you put into your body directly affects what comes out of it. I don't know if there's any science behind this, but I know that I'm going to feel much more well-nourished if I make my own burrito at home and I'm putting love and energy into it, rather than a burrito from Chipotle where somebody who hated their job is putting that negative energy into that food and giving it to me to eat, which I love Chipotle, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference. There's a difference. And not even just like on a quality scale, like an energy scale. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if there's science behind it. Let me know. But what I'm saying is that energy that directly goes into your meal that was made with love goes into you one way or the other. And the same goes with drugs and alcohol. Personally, I've been avoiding alcohol a lot lately because I've been noticing how much it directly impacts my training and my sleep. And there's just so many cons to it rather than pros. Sorry if I sound like I'm on a soapbox, but please know that I'm not telling you to not go out and enjoy your life and to not drink. I just urge you to reflect after you have a night out and to notice how your thought patterns are the next day and how your energy levels are and how it affects your mind and body, essentially, how it affects your thoughts and actions. By all means, please just get some exercise in, even if you're just going on a walk outside. It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary, but there are a lot of great benefits to walking in a forested area. The more greenery that you could be surrounded with, the more benefits you're going to get. And I'll leave some studies that confirm this below, but walking in a forested area has been proven to reduce stress, increase sleep, regulate your circadian rhythm, lower your blood pressure, boosting your immune system, increasing focus and creativity. And if you're not near a forest or near a park, try your best to get around as much greenery as you can, but the fact that you're going out on a walk is still an amazing thing, and enjoy it. My next tip that I have for you to increase your confidence is to handle your criticism, negative talk, and rejection. Once I heard this made it so much easier to get over embarrassment and to get over that negative inner monologue that I always had constantly swirling around in my brain. Bear with me here. The only thing that is guaranteed when you are born is that one day you are going to die. Just saying. Everyone is going to die someday. So because you accidentally tripped in front of the whole arena or in front of people at a restaurant isn't going to make or break your life. They're not going to mention that at your funeral. It's not a big deal. And it's important to think about what the worst thing that can happen is quite frequently, because more than likely that's not going to happen. The worst case scenario is that you might embarrass yourself for a little bit and people will get over it 2 minutes later. And honestly, if somebody is going out of their way to make fun of you over something very minuscule, it says more about them than it does about you. And they probably have some sort of unaddressed trauma or unaddressed wound that they're dealing with and they don't know how to heal from. So don't take it personally. Laugh and find joy in messing up, because that's really what life is all about. Life is not that serious. Honestly, people don't care about you as much as you think. Sorry. What I'm saying is people have their own self-monologue going on in their heads and they're much more concerned about their first person story rather than yours. But a way to get more comfortable with this is to frequently put yourself out there consistently, no matter how big or small it is. And I have the perfect example to use. So recently I started jump roping again at my gym. And I first started off by doing it alone in a room again because it's been years since I was doing it. But now I'm doing it on the main floor in front of a lot of people, and I always do it until failure. So each time I fail, meaning I trip and it ends, and then I either start again or I move on to a different exercise, I am literally flexing that muscle, that embarrassment muscle, to get more comfortable with being uncomfortable. At first, it was a little embarrassing, it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing, failing in front of a big group of people, but now it has zero effect on me. I don't even think twice about it. And no one notices except for myself. And honestly, when I'm killing it and doing it consistently for a long time, I'll usually get like a little head nod or like, nice. It's nice. They're not focusing on my failure. They're focusing on how long that I can go now. What I'm saying is flex that muscle that makes you feel a little embarrassed or a little uncomfortable and try to develop more like who gives a shit philosophy. That is really going to boost your confidence. And my final tip for increasing your self-confidence is to fix your posture, fix your body language. I don't know what it is, but I always have an immediate visceral reaction to somebody who is not making eye contact with me. And I understand that people have bad days and it could be uncomfortable for a lot of people, but when you don't maintain eye contact with somebody, you are subconsciously giving them a signal that you're not trustworthy or you're hiding something. We're actually more likely to distrust somebody who avoids eye contact. Not only is it disrespectful, but it's a good way to get people to avoid you. And although it may feel uncomfortable, maintaining eye contact with others shows that you're a trustworthy person and more confident. Meanwhile, if your body posture is all slumped over, arms crossed, you're closing yourself off to others and you're subconsciously giving a signal that you're avoiding them. You don't want to be seen. You kind of just want to be hidden away. You're trying to make yourself small and undetectable. You're not welcome to having any interactions. You're immediately closing yourself off. However, if you're using hand gestures and varying your tone and putting energy and emphasis behind it and making eye contact, you're much more likely to have the other person engage with you and even match your energy and tone. And a great way to practice this is to go out to dinner, talk to your server, go to the store, talk to the workers, read the room. Like, don't bother them if they don't want to be bothered. Like, Come on, do this whenever you're out with whoever you can. And personally, I used to love doing this when I worked retail, and it made the time go by faster just by talking to people and getting to know them. And I had a lot of regulars who would always come up to me, and I became magnetic. Little things like this really go a long way with people, and it's a great way for you to stand out from the rest, because when all these are applied, it's kind of rare, and it really makes a good lasting impression. I know that some of these tips may have been perceived as, oh, that's so obvious, or yeah, I'm already doing these, but not a lot of people recognize them, and a lot of people get complacent and unaware, and they surround themselves with the same people and don't really want to change. But if you really do want to become confident and become magnetic to others and radiate in a room, light it up, and have people just gravitate towards you like they do for me, I promise you that if you implement all these habits, you're going to do exactly that. So please, if you have tried these out, if you do these, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how they go for you, and feel free to subscribe because I upload every week. That would be very cool if you did. So with all that being said, I will see you really soon. Bye.